Hi, I'm Izzy. Welcome to the first Gleeson First Time Buyer podcast. We've created this podcast to help you on your home ownership journey, and we'll be covering everything from interior tips to finance advice and everything in between, with some amazing guests joining us along the way. As the leading house builder for first-time buyers, we're proud to make home ownership a reality for our customers, with 86% of our customers first-timers. We have over 75 developments across the North and the Midlands in total, with more coming soon. You'll be able to find our podcast on all the most common streaming services, but also on our YouTube channel, which you can find by searching Gleeson Homes. For our first podcast, we're joined by two of our fantastic brand ambassadors, Liv, who you may know as At Home with Liv, and Tom, who is TF New Build on Insta. I'll be chatting with them today about the process of reserving their home and what inspired them to get onto the property ladder. So, Tom, Liv, introduce yourselves to us.
I'm Liv. I live in Sheffield in a Kilkenny, which is a 3-bedroom detached home. I've lived here for about 18 months.
I'm Tom. I live in a Tyrone and in Rotherham, and I've lived in our home for just under 5 years now.
And what was your living situation before you moved into your Gleeson home?
I lived with my partner in an annex in my dad's garden.
Oh, wow.
It was like a separate building. And it was great because we had privacy, but it was very small and very intense, very cramped. So we just needed more space and some freedom.
Oh, nice. What about you, Tom?
I lived at home with my parents, and then when we started saving to buy our house, I moved in with my partner, and we were literally in the smallest bedroom in his mum's house, surrounded by furniture and boxes of all sorts of house things that we'd started buying ready to move in.
Yeah. We did that as well. We knew we wanted to buy, so we started getting little things that we liked and saw, and it just ended up stockpiling.
I had the same when I was moving. I had in the corner of my bedroom, literally, it started off as just like a few plates, a few cups, and then before you know it, it was like my washing basket and everything piled in the corner.
We literally went to one extreme, like, to the other, so we'd literally got, like, garden furniture, fridge, freezer, everything that we possibly needed was all just crammed in this room. We were so desperate to get in.
When did you start saving for your house, and how did you kind of think it was going to take you ages, or what was the saving process like?
We actually went with Joel's sister, my partner Joel, with his sister, to look at her show home. She bought a Fergus, a Gleeson Fergus. Oh, cool. So she said, come and have a look, see what you think, let me know what your thoughts are. So we went with her to go and see it. And while we were there, the same site had a Kilkenny and a Tyrone show home. And we had a look, obviously, being nosy that I am. We're like, let's just have a nosy while we're here. And we were like, oh my God, this is doable. We could do this like soon. So then we looked at sites near where we lived, and we went from there. So the savings started really as soon as we'd seen the show home that we liked. Yeah. Pretty quickly.
How long did it take you to save roughly?
It took us, I'd give it like a year, probably a year to save. We still enjoyed ourselves, everything we needed to do, but we made sure we put money aside every month. Yeah. With the end goal in sight.
We started off with a 3-year saving plan before we'd even looked at Gleeson's. We started looking at other developers and older houses and things. And we said, realistically, 3 years is what we need to save everything that we need. And then actually, when we went and looked at Gleeson's and saw all the different house types, the affordability and the schemes that were available, we put our deposit down the following weekend, and we were just saving as we were going along, waiting for the house to be built. So it was great because you'd secured your property, but you're also saving money at the same time, and just chipping away at little bits like as you're going along with your solicitor fees and things like that. So the 3-year plan very quickly got axed, and I think it was about a year from us starting to save to moving in.
Oh, wow. So a lot quicker than people.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me why you chose to go for a new build over an older house or maybe a doer-upper. What was it that attracted you to a new build style?
There was no danger of me needing to do any renovating. There was no danger. I wanted it to be as easy as possible because me and my partner had never done any DIY before at all. We both lived with our families and our dads are both really handy. So we never had to venture into any toolbox ever. So we wanted somewhere that was ready to move in and we could give it a try on a small project if we needed to. Yeah. That was a no-brainer for us.
I think it's very much a sort of safe purchase when it's your first home. I think for us, we were quite worried about money and things like that. So we didn't want to go into an older property and then find that 6 months in you need a new boiler and be hit with a huge expense when you've just had the cost of like moving in and buying your first home. So knowing that everything was new, was covered under warranty, you know, it sort of gave us a little bit of peace of mind that actually this is probably the right thing that we should be doing.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a blank canvas. You're moving in to something that you can really personalise, make your own. And again, it's not costing you a lot of money to do that. You pick your options and things like that. You know, some are included with your price, and obviously there's upgrades as well.
Yeah.
But overall, the general affordability of knowing that we had peace of mind when we moved in, that everything would be good, and there wouldn't be any like expenses creeping up on you or anything like that. So I think that was one of the main things for us, knowing that you'd sort of got this safety net.
Yeah. And what was it about Gleeson that stood out from any of the house developments that you went to view?
And we saw Gleeson first. We thought, oh, great, we can look, but let's not tie ourselves down straight away. Let's have a venture out. We looked at a few other builders, and the price difference was wild. It was so much more for the same size building.
Yeah.
We were like, is this like a trap? But it was. It was so straightforward. We were like, this is a clear answer for us.
Yeah.
Because then the money we would have had to spend on a deposit or the house if we bought something more expensive, we then couldn't spend on furniture, flooring, appliances, everything else that we wanted to, and those nice things that make it a home. We wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Yeah.
We were very much the same. We looked at a different developer first, and we were looking at a 2-bed apartment, and the price of that was about £40,000 more than our 3-bed semi-house that we picked.
That is crazy.
So when we actually came to view Gleeson's, we were amazed at how much more we actually got for our money.
Yeah.
More space, more land, like a double drive, all that sort of thing. There was just so much more for your money. So really the affordability won us over straight away, knowing that we'd got something better, and obviously the mortgage payments and everything would be a lot lower.
Yeah. And how did you feel? So once you've been to all the show homes, you've chosen the house type or the plot that you wanted, and you've put you've reserved your house. Tell us about how you were feeling then and what your next steps were after you've reserved.
It was exciting. I remember being so keen to come and look at the plot.
Yeah.
Oh, that weekend stalking at the house plot. Do you remember back in the day?
I miss it.
I know I do. I miss going to... Because then once we knew which plot we'd had and which style house we'd chosen, reserved, and we're waiting for it to be finished built, you could not keep me out of that show home. I was keen. I was in. I was like, good morning, I'm back. Don't mind me. Just trying to then make the decisions. It's so hard to make decisions on your style before you're in, because you think you know what you want, and then it changes completely.
Yeah.
But God, it was so exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely there's a massive urge of exciting, and there's nerve, like, oh my God, I can't believe that we've actually done it.
Yeah.
And this is such a big adulting thing. But the experience was just so good, and I miss that experience so much. The excitement of waiting for it to be built, the sort of suspense as you're building up to completion, all the good stuff in between. It's such a nice experience to have.
It felt so easy.
Yeah, I was really surprised actually how easy the entire process was once we got in and doing it.
I'm sure you felt the same as me, but when I went to the sales office as a first time buyer, I thought, oh, they're going to think I have no idea what's going on. They're going to be sick of me asking questions.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They were happy to help and answer any questions I got. And I started every email off with, I'm really sorry, this sounds like a question, but... but no, it was fine. I felt reassured.
Yeah, I think we were the same. I think we were quite concerned that we could have easily, with being first-time buyers, almost been a little bit naive and agreeing to things that we didn't necessarily need to or whatever else. But because Gleeson's is set up predominantly for first-time buyers, the process was made really easy for us. And, the sales reps were great. They explained the processes and everything to us. And... sort of what was next steps, what was coming, which just made it so much more relaxing and easy to enjoy the process, as opposed to fretting about it. Maybe if you'd have gone for sort of a second-hand home, you wouldn't have had that sort of assistance with your purchase almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nobody assumed that I knew anything.
Yeah.
So everything was explained super clear.
And what attracted you? I know you just said that you lived close by before, but what attracted you to the area, and what did you think of kind of the development and the surrounding area from the development? What made you choose this one over other developments near?
This development where I live is so central to everything I need it to be. It's close to the motorway. It's close to shops, which is key. It's close to town. It's not far from where I would work.
Yeah.
It's just so central. It's near our families. It just made sense to be somewhere with easy access to everywhere else.
Yeah.
We're kind of the opposite. Ours is a little bit rural, so where the estate is built, we're next to a canal, and on the other side of the canal is all sort of green belt. So you drive under this bridge onto the estate, and it's like you're going into a completely different world from what you've just like driven through.
Yeah.
It's really nice, really quiet. And every time we went, it was like always really sunny and really nice. It was almost like it was like picture
Like a
postcard
film, yeah.
almost, yeah. So we just fell in love with the area, and it was a reasonable move from me. I was moving about 20-30 minutes from where I used to live as a kid. But everything about it was just saying that it was the right thing to do.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so let's talk about probably the least exciting part of buying a home, but it's probably the bit that everyone needs to know most about is the mortgage side of things. So who did you choose to go with, and what made you decide to go with the mortgage advisors that you went with?
We used Meridian. Did you use Meridian?
Yeah.
Gleeson suggested it, and because we were first-time buyers, we didn't want to just go rogue and do it ourselves. We wanted the advice.
Yeah.
Sort of goes hand in hand,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
does.
They know what they're on about, and we didn't know what we were on about.
Because they work with Gleeson, they know what's what, don't they?
Yeah.
And our mortgage for our house is less than £400 a month. And for a 3-bedroom detached house, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
And that then leaves us with money to play with every
Yeah.
month, which is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, I think we're about 370, 380
Yeah.
our mortgage. And it's just so much cheaper than rent.
Yeah.
We went with Skipton Building Society for our mortgage, and they've been really, really good. The interest rates was good. So Meridian actually did a really good job of getting us the best deal that we could for our sort of first time home, because we didn't know what we were doing. And we were that excited to move in, we could have just said yes at anything. But I think actually looking back now, they did work really hard to get us a good deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, the stuff that we got was good.
I remember the guy that we dealt with at Meridian bringing us sort of 2 or 3 mortgage options and saying it's X, Y, and Z. These are the benefits, these are the terms, and we chose one. We ended up going with the Bank of Ireland.
Yeah.
I think it's the Bank of Ireland. I think they're run by the post office.
Yeah.
But I would never have searched them out or Googled them myself. It wouldn't have even been on my radar. But it was the best interest rate. It was the best offer for us.
Yeah. And did you use any schemes? Being a first-time buyer, did you take advantage of any schemes that were available to you?
Yeah, we used Help to Buy. Did you?
Yeah, we did Help to Buy. It was really good. It allowed us to get on the ladder a lot quicker with 5% deposit. And because you're only mortgaging for 75%, obviously that brings your payments and things down. It was just a no-brainer. We did the Help to Buy ISAs, which gave us a big boost of money as well. So the entire scheme was really, really good.
Yeah.
And helped us get on the ladder a lot quicker than we expected.
And can you remember what you were doing when you picked up your keys? Because I remember when I moved into my apartment, I was at a coffee shop next door to the estate agents, literally just waiting for the call to say I can come and pick up my keys. Go through the day when you were waiting for collecting your keys?
You mean the longest day in history? It was so stressful. I was off work on leave, and I went for my nails done in the morning. I then went to lunch with my friends, and my partner Joel was at work.
Did you take the picture with the keys with your nails done, kind of like?
That's why I had them done that day. Obviously, I planned around these.
It's like when you get proposed to, apart from it's with your keys.
We're like, hello. But I planned this whole day. I was like, I have to just keep myself busy, preoccupied. Don't worry about it. And then I got the phone call. I came down about 11 a.m. And then I was sort of left in this house with these keys. I was like, oh my God, this is mental. Did you think the same?
Yeah, ours was
crazy.
like, I think that entire week was a bit of a whirlwind. The the night before we were due to get the keys, we'd like dismantled the bed and everything. So we were literally laid on the floor on the mattress because we were like, if there's one thing that is going in that house tomorrow when we get the keys, it's the bed. So once we've done all the chaotic stuff, we can just get in bed at the end of the night. We went and picked up the van on the morning and we packed that van, and we must have packed it so quick that we were just, it felt like hours almost that you're waiting for the phone call for the keys. And obviously they ring pretty quickly. I think it was just before lunch we got the call, and we've never driven so quickly down to the sales centre to pick up these keys. And like you say, it was just so surreal. The sales exec comes down with you and you sign all your paperwork and they leave and you just stood there and you're like, we've done it.
I know.
And like there's an almost a feeling of relief, but a bit of shock as well. Like, you own these 4 walls, this is yours now.
Yeah.
And like it's the start to your new adventure. It was so exciting.
It was so exciting. I think I've wiped out all the memories of the packing, the unpacking, God. Endless amounts of cardboard to with all the good stuff that I remember being like, this is mad. I remember wanting to just get started like there and then.
Definitely, yeah.
Thanks, Tom and Liv, for joining me today to talk about your initial stages of reserving your Gleeson home. Don't forget to tune in next week where we'll be talking about the next stages. Make sure you follow us on Instagram @gleeson.homes to see stunning interior pics and more home tips. See you next week.